So hello everyone, this is the 8th video tutorial and where we will discuss two important points. First, what are the different weights in selenium, and then we will discuss about access XPath, and all the after these all things we have almost covered all the basic topics. Now we will be working on framework from tomorrow onward. Okay, so let's discuss what is the weight. So actually what does this mean by the weight? Actually weight is a kind of framework, you can say. Oh, sorry, weight is a kind of interface. Okay, so let's discuss much more. Suppose that if some element is taking some time to appear, I have designed a web page for this one. I will show you. If I will go to here and here, and in the previous lecture I have shown you the code about the frame. So if I have just created a dummy code so that I can show you. Suppose that this is a web page and here we have three sections. You can see there is a no text. Where is my mouse? So there is no text, but this text will appear after some time. Okay, let me refresh it. You can see there is a no text, but it will appear after some time. So this kind of scenario may appear. Sometimes some element will appear after some time. After it will be dynamic or these all things. So we have to put the weight over there. Okay, so what are the total kinds of weights? So basically totally we have near about five kinds of the weight. First is the hard weight. It is known as the thread dot sleep. Okay. So and here it will take as a input as a millisecond. Means for 2 seconds we will give 2000 millisecond. Okay. Now where it will be used, suppose that there is a scenario that you need to pause your application for some certain amount of time. Okay, then you have to use this kind of the weight. Okay, due to any reason, if you want to pause your complete operation, then you have to use the thread.sleep. Basically it's a kind of the Java thread wait. You are just stopping your thread. It's a Java functionality, not your Selenium functionality. So you have to also accept your exception. It's known as the interrupted exception. Interrupted exception. Okay, now second wait is implicitly second wait is page load timeout. Page load timeout, as the name says, so it is used to check how much time a page will take. For example, whenever you will designing the framework, so you have to define a page load time. Okay, and you will be using these page load time at every part of your project. For example, that your application have a standard that every page should get load at least within a 3 seconds. So for your project, for your application, the page load time will be 3 seconds for each module. Okay, now the third weight is come is as a implicitly weight. Implicitly weight. So what do you mean by the implicitly weight? And what do you mean by the explicitly weight? Okay. So implicitly weight means suppose that you don't know how much time this element will take to appear. Okay. Means it may take 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. So you are trying to give a certain amount of time. For example, that I am giving it as a 10 seconds. So it will wait up to the 10 seconds before throwing the exception. Okay. So it will wait up to the maximum 10 seconds, and after the exception. Please make your mic off. Make it mic. Okay. Now, what is the explicitly weight? Explicitly weight is just an enhanced version of the implicitly weight, where you can put your conditions like that when your element will be visible, when your element will be clickable. So this is the explicitly weight. Now let's discuss these all things much more. So in these always the default pooling time is always, remember, it's a very good interview question. If somebody is asking what is the default pooling time, so it's 500 millisecond. What do you mean by the 500 millisecond, or what do you mean by the pooling time? Pooling time means suppose that I am saying to you just wait for me wait for me. For example, that let me open the notepad so that I can explain you each and everything. Okay, suppose that there is a person. Okay, and he is waiting for some another person to come in a street. Okay, So now, what do you mean by the pulling time? Pulling time will be, suppose that I have told this person that you need to wait for the 10 seconds. Okay, but in the 10 second, for every 2 second of every 3 second, you need to check it again whether this is coming out or not. So this is known as the pulling time. Okay, so it will up to the maximum 10 second. It will wait, and in the 10 second, it will just break for the every 0.3 0.5 second. It will check it again whether it is coming or not, again whether it is coming or not. So when your exception will appear at 10 second to 10.5 seconds. Okay, so your exception will appear after 10 second to 10.5 second. Okay, but it is a very frequent process, like a 0.5 second. So it sometimes it seems as a 10 second, sometimes it seems as a 10.5 second. In general, you will see the exception after 10.5 second. It's applicable for the both the cases, whether it is implicitly wait, whether it is explicitly wait. Now, one more thing, one more advanced wait. It is known as the fluent wait. So what do you mean by the fluent weight? It is nothing but just a more customized weight. Suppose that here in implicitly weight, in explicitly weight, there is a fixed condition that 500 is a pulling time. Okay. So if there is a 500 pulling time and you want to make it as a, you want to set the pulling time as per your need. So you can use the fluent weight. So what is the mean by the fluent weight? Means you are just uh, setting up your own pulling time. Okay, you are making your own, you are customizing your own pulling time, you are customizing your own timeout time. Okay, timeout time, and also you are customizing your own exception. Okay, like your own exception, whatever the exception you want to manage at your end. After that, you will create a method, you can say the function, to find that element. Okay, the simple function which will the data type will be the WebDriver, and you can say you can call this function to find the element. Okay, so let me show you the exact website of Selenium, like wait in Selenium documentation, documentation, so that I can explain you much more thing. Okay, so here you can see the Selenium website, I think so. Yes. So you can see all the things is given over very proper manner. We'll go to here. Not here, yeah. Okay, so let's see. WebDriver can generally be set to the blocking the API because it is one of the outpost library structure of browser what to do. And because of the web per platform has intrinsically acronymous nature, WebDriver does not track the active real-time state of the DOM, document object model. It comes with some challenges that we'll discuss. Okay, so now it will discuss about the await, explicit wait. Okay, explicit wait was are available in the Selenium client, and a basic part is given here. Okay, let's move on the other wait, like the what when you will apply the explicit wait, when you have the some expected condition like alert is present, element exist, element visible, visible text. So when such kind of condition will appear, you will use the explicit wait. Okay, and then about the implicit wait. Okay, so here is also they are telling about the implicit wait in a very good way. Okay, warning: do not mix implicit and explicit wait. Doing so can cause unpredictable wait time. For example, setting an implicit wait 10 seconds and explicit wait 15 seconds could cause the timeout to occur after 20 seconds. Okay, so on here also the fluent wait is given. Like you can see, it's a kind of the fluent wait is a kind of wait is an interface. Fluent wait is a class. Okay, always remember what is fluent wait. Fluent wait is a class, and wait what is a kind of interface. Okay, so we will use the same code in our project, and we will see the different scenario. So let me create a new, this is our Java project. I will create a class and I will implement the different types of the wait. Okay, So suppose that I'm saying that uh, demo selenium wait. Okay, suppose that this is my project name, and I am creating sorry, this is my class name, and here I will take the same thing like just I will, you can say, copy these all things as it is. Okay, so now you can see, let me remove this one, let me write this one. Okay, so I am using my web page whatever I have designed in my previous session. So I will use that web page. Which one is here? Not here, not this one. So I will take this URL. Okay, and then I will say that driver dot navigate dot to, and this will become my URL. And now I will apply some weight over there. For example, that I am applying the weight first of all the page load timeout. So I will say that driver dot manage dot timeout dot page load timeout. Okay, this is the method page load timeout you can use. So I'm saying that is a 5-second page load timeout. Okay, so I'm saying that time unit dot second. So now this is the weight which we'll use for the page load timeout. But in the actual project where we will working on the you can say some project, so you have to give the weight like this way, like page load timeout in a separate util package. Okay, and then you can call this class by the static method. So whenever I will explain you about the framework, then I will tell you how to use the page load timeout, how to use the basically weight. So for the time being, just try to understand how to apply the page load timeout. Okay, now then, suppose that I am simple, I am printing something like system.out.println. I am explaining the weight in Selenium. Okay, so let me run this code. So this is basically applied along with the URL so that you can check that how much time it is taking to get load. Okay, now let me run it as a, let me close this one. Okay, now let me run as a test ng text. Okay, after that we will apply the implicit weight, then we will apply the explicit weight. And then we will apply the fluent weight of Selenium. So it may take some time to get load. Okay, you can see that it is for the your web page. Okay, now it is simply it will wait up to the 5 seconds to load the page. Now let me apply the second wait thread dot sleep. Okay, and thread dot sleep, as I told you that it's a hard wait. We will work on this or later on. Now suppose that the scenario is something like we want to get the text, and I in the previous tutorial I have informed you that it is a kind of a frame. So first of all we have to move on the frame, then we will suppose that I want to read this text. Okay, so I will say that driver dot switch to dot frame 0 means first frame. Okay, and I will say that uh, string data is equal to driver dot find element by dot id and dot get text. Okay, so I am reading the text which is invisible, and I will say that this out control space data I am printing. Okay, so let me read this element first, the property of this element. Let me inspect. this one, and the ID is my ID, so I will directly use the ID. Okay, so now let's see what will happen. And this time I will put a hard code wait like a thread dot sleep like a 3 milliseconds. Okay, so as I told you, it's a Java wait, hard coded wait. We have to accept the exception. Exception will be interrupted exception. Okay, now let me run it again. Let me clean this one and let me run this one. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you the different examples of the wait and how they will be applied. Okay, now let's move on the whole thing. So you can see it is not failing, but we are not able to read the text which is at this location. Means we are not still able to read this element till now. Okay, why? Because it will appear after some time. Let me move to the some other part of the weight. So now this time I will apply implicit weight. Okay, so I will say that driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicitly wait, and here I will give the time unit as a 5, and I will say that time unit dot second. Okay, now I will do the same way. So this is the example of applying the implicit wait, means it will wait up to the 5 seconds. Okay, and then he will try to find the element. Now let me run it again. This is a very general example. It's a very general example. It's very, so don't relate with the real scenario. I'm just trying to show you that how to apply the different kinds of the weight. Okay, so now in this way you can apply the implicit weight. It's simply, so it will wait up for the 5 seconds up to this element will appear or not. Okay, so you can see this one. Now let's see the output. It is not printing. Okay, so in some cases if you want to find some element it will work. In some cases it purely depends on your requirement. Now let's move to the another weight which is explicit weight. Okay, so as I told you, explicit weight means that you first need to find the element and then you can uh, give the expected condition. So I will use here our WebDriver wait class. So I will create the object of WebDriver wait class and then we will use. So I will say that WebDriver wait, and I will say that wait. I'm giving its name as a object name as a wait. You can give any name. New WebDriver wait, and inside that you will pass your driver reference and then the time unit. Okay, you need to import the WebDriver wait. Always remember it will be in the OpenQA selenium.support.py package. Okay, now you have imported. Now we will put here the expected condition. So we will say that wait dot until there is a method, this one. Okay, so you will use, and then we will say that expected conditions conditions. Okay, dot. Now let's see what are the different conditions we have. Okay, like alert is present, attribute, element is selectable, element is not, frame to be available, invisibility of element, presence of element. So a lot of method is available. So it's a very highly used weight nowadays in the industry. Okay, so I will use the visibility of web element. Okay, so I will use visibility of web element and I will say that driver dot find element by dot id, this one, and here I will pass the id, this one. Okay, so this is an example of that how we will implement the explicit weight. Okay, now let me run it again. I will say that project clean, then I will run it again. After that, we will see that how to apply the fluent weight. Now see, now your element has been printed. You can see in the previous it was not able to print this one. Now your text, this is I will appear after some time, means this text is getting printed out. So it purely depends what is the actual condition and how you will apply. This is the demo that how you will apply the different kinds of the weight. So now let me comment this one again, and now we will use the fluent weight. So always remember, as I told you, fluent weight, in the fluent weight you can fully customize all the things. Okay, so let me try the write the command of the fluent weight. So it's a better idea to copy it from the uh, Selenium website, but I will try to write, use the weight, and here you have to pass the WebDriver, I think so, and then there will be the weight, and here you will say that new fluent weight. Yes, fluent weight, this one. So I will right click, it should suggest me. Okay, no, okay. So here you have to put different command. As I told you that you can set your pulling time. So here will be some time like with timeout. So here it will not take the timeout as previously. It will take that visibility of element or something like this one. Again, you can set the pulling time. Okay, so you have to give here the pulling time. Again, you can set the ignore. Ignoring means uh, ignoring means you are just ignoring the exception. Exception will come with the class. Means if I'm saying that no such element found, an element found exception, no such element exception. Okay, so I have to use here dot class. Okay, after that I will create a function, and then we will call our element. Okay, so now for the time being I'm just importing, or I'm just copying it from the Selenium website, and I will explain you. So as I'll go to here, you can see this one. So let me copy this one. Okay, so now you can also do the same thing. Now let's see. It's a WebDriver weight, fluent weight driver, this one. Now import this weight. Always remember, as I told you, it's inside the Selenium support QA package. Now duration of second. Okay, ignoring such kind of exception. Java.util. Okay, let me save it. And then web element, you can use your own web element like ghost test I'm using. Okay, and until always remember most important thing, while importing the function you always have to choose the common.google.common bay.base. If you choose other function, there will be an error, so always choose this one. Okay, so now inside this I will write my this one. So let me explain you. As I told you, first of all, this is a fluent weight is a class and weight is an interface. So we will create an object, and by casting, you can say we will give the WebDriver here, and then we will pass that WebDriver reference here. Then first of all, we will set the timeout. So this is the way how to set the timeout. Also, you can set the timeout as we have done like this way, like time unit dot second. But in the updated Selenium, it's a good practice to use the timeout by this way, duration dot of second. Okay, duration dot of second. Then ignoring whatever the exception you want to ignore. You can also use ignoring all as you want. Then here we story will start. That how we will find this element. So let's locate your element. Then we'll put the condition wait as we did in the explicit wait dot until. Here we will create a new function which will have WebDriver and web element. In this function, you can if you see it, so there is a method basically. Public element apply this one. There is a method. It will return what? First it will find the element. It will return the web element. So data type or the return type of this method is web element. Okay, and then it is again accepting the argument as a web driver. Then simply you need to say that driver dot find element this one. So this is the common code. It will be written at one place. You just need to call the method. You do not need to write it again and again. So now let me run this one. So here you can fully customize your way. So for example that I am giving the timeout. Let me check it as a 20 second, and pulling time is for each every second you have to check it out. Okay, ignore this exception, and then by using this function you have to find the element by id. Okay, so now let me run this one. Let me clean this one, and then I will run this one. Okay, so it's all about the weight, the 5 weight that we have in our Selenium. And after that we will discuss about little bit about the access, what are the access XPath, and what are the things. Let me make it as a little bit more time. So it will your text will be printed out. I think this one. Okay. So you can practice on these all weights, that how to apply these all weights. It's a that's a dummy scenario I have taken. In the real time scenario, you will use whenever the condition will appear, appropriate weight we will use. Okay. So let's see what do you mean by the different kind of access. So let me open my website way to testing.com. Actually, that access concept is very easy. Okay, but it depends. Sometimes somebody saying that it's not an easy, it's something they are making the complex. It's a very easy thing to how to find the access of an element. Okay, let me close these all things. Okay, let me explain you that how will you find the access. What do you mean by the access? First of all, let's understand. So let me make it as a new. So in the advanced Selenium or the updated version, it was found that some elements do not have any property. They don't have the ID, they don't have the class name, they don't have the name. So how to find such kind of element? Okay, so the best way to find this kind of element to find the uh, ancestor of this element means find the relative part of this element. Suppose that this is a element. I am not able to find this one due to any reason. I am not able to find this person. So what I will do, I will try to trace if it have any children. Okay, if it have any children, then I will try to find out if it have any sibling, means any sibling which is his preceding sibling or just following sibling. Okay, so I will try to find out its sibling, who is his brother or sister. Okay, now if still we are not able to find, then we will find who is his father. We will try to find out the father of this element. Okay, and then if still we are not able to find the father, then we will try to find out the ancestor, means the grandfather or something. So this is a simple relationship that we need to apply for an unknown element. Okay, so it is a way, whenever your application is highly dynamic, so you will see that something is changing very frequently. We are not able to find some element, so we will take that element as a self element, and then from there we will move to the their sibling, their child, their parents, whatever we are getting, we'll find. What will be the syntax? Syntax will be very simple. Like suppose that I am trying to find out child, so I will say that child column, and what is the, you can say the tag name of the child. For example, if the tag name is a div, then simply we have find the child. For example, I am trying to find out the parent, parent. I will write the parent colon colon, and I will say that the tag name, for example, the tag name of the parent is the anchor link A. Simply you will able to find out this. Okay, so now I am taking some simple example to explain you. Uh, Let me go to my practice page. Okay, so suppose that we are here. Okay, let me explain you. If we are here, let me open the DOM. We are here. Okay, so now, for example, let me take a copy of a path of this element, or you can also say the control F. You can say so. We'll put it here. You are able to find this one. Now, suppose that due to any reason I am not able to find 6474. I am not able to find this row. So how we will do? So single slash, and I will say that uh, following FALO. The spelling may be mistake. Following sibling, SIBLING, following sibling, column TD, FALL. I think so. Yes. So you can see that following sibling means 6747 has been highlighted. You can find it out. Now let me say that preceding sibling. So I will say that preceding sibling. So I am taking this element as my prime element, and suppose that I want to find this element, means 11123. So it is the preceding sibling of this one. So I will say that preceding sibling. You can say it's highlighted 1123. Okay, so this is a simple way, and also sometimes we use the self. Okay, so I will say that self column, and it's a TD, so it is highlighted. Sometimes you have to find the self element, this one. Okay, now suppose it do not have any child. Let me come to here. Now for example, I want to go to the parent. So simply I will say that parent, PARENT, colon. So if we see the DOM of this element, okay, so the parent of just parent is a TR. The tag name is TR. So we will use as a parent as a TR. So you can see the complete row has been highlighted. Okay. Now in the same way we can go with the ancestor. ANCESTER. TOR. Ancestor. Again full row has been highlighted. Like ancestor we can also go with the T body. So this one also you can see we have found the complete T body. So I'm just taking a simple example. Your complete ancestor, you are able to find a complete table. So this is a very simple thing. First trace one element, then whether you want to find the child, parent, sibling, whether you want to move, you can move with these all things. Okay. Now anything, I think nothing is remaining, and for this I am taking any child example. Uh, okay, let me copy the X path of this one. Okay. Now suppose that I want to move the child. So we know that the child is anchor tag A. So simple I will say slash find the child of this one who has the anchor tag A. Simply. Okay. So you can see that this has been find out means this row has been highlighted. So this is a very simple concept. First of trace one element, then whether you want to move the bottom, top, left and right, just use the common keywords like that as I told you. Like there's something that you will use. First you will use the self, and then tag name of self, tag name of self as I told you. Then we have the child colon, then we have the parent colon, then we have the preceding siblings colon, then we have the following siblings following ing sibling colon. Okay, so also child, parent, ancestor, one more ancestor, and much more we have, but not too much required. Basically it's for the interview. So basically this is the simple X path. As why it is we are saying that the axis, so axis means that you are moving to the like the axis, as we know that in the mathematics, like x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so by using the child parent we will move to this axis, by using sibling we will move to this axis. So it's a very simple concept. You can practice on anything. If something is not findable or something is not very highly dynamic, then we are using such kind of scenario to locate the child parent element. So it's all about our today class. If anybody have any doubt and concern, can ask me. From tomorrow, we will discuss about the data-driven, keyword-driven, and other framework. So you are required to practice up to now, because if you have seen all the video till now, then it will be easy to understand that how to implement the framework, how to create the framework. Okay, if anybody have any doubt, please feel free to ask me.